Yeah, but why do we have on the screen watch SHS and North Rock Creek Athletics? It's supposed to be a podcast.
I was putting something up there so that there was not put the abstract up.
I don't want to put the abstract up.
No, guys, I think they're with us, so let's just leave it there for now. So I've got two of my friends who I trust wholeheartedly with me, and we're just going to talk with you guys, hopefully, in the comment line, but we'll just be in the studio talking about the different things that we introduce. And last week, I was able to talk about the vote taking place, and man, what a reaction we had to that.
Some of those comments were pretty negative, or
well, that's funny that you say that, Jay, because that's what we talked about. That's basically what we anticipated. Is negative Nancy's are really loud.
I usually call them Karens, though.
Karens?
Yes, typically a Karen.
Can you say that?
I think that you can, but check out the votes. Okay, so first of all, as far as positive, that's what we want. We think positivity causes growth. And comment as you will, but this is great. Proposition number 1, guys, was about ward voting. First of all, did you guys vote?
I actually went and voted, yes, I did.
Okay, but you put actually in there like I should be surprised that you went to vote. Are you an avid voter?
I try to make sure to go and vote every time now.
Good.
As we've been learning new things, yes.
Good, because that means you're coaching your kids to vote on a consistent basis. But Proposition 1, I think, and I said this, everybody was for Proposition 1, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to that. I would prefer to vote for whoever's over me anyways. That's not any different than like a district or a state representative. I mean, yeah.
I agree, and I think everybody in the community just about agreed, because it was 84% positive vote on that first one, which I love because the city did that. This city commission, which we showed you in our last one, the entire picture of our city commission with the mayor, these guys really want to do what you want done, and for 4 decades at least, ward voting has been talked about and nobody brought it up to the voters, and these guys did. They're to be commended for that. So proposition number 2 was the repeated language talking about competitive bidding. What did you guys feel about that?
I mean, I don't understand the whole bidding process, so that's not, but it made sense that we would want to make this where we can get the best bang for our buck. Anybody can come in and say, I want to be able to do this.
Yeah, I agree. And so if you didn't, you need to go back and watch the Andrea video, because she talked about the competitive bidding pretty well. And I agree. I mean, I have to do bidding at different times from a business standpoint, and I do not want a little hiccup that I didn't know about causing my bid to be thrown out when I know that we would be the best for the job for whoever we're bidding for. So again, 84% for. That's a great show of support for the commission and for our city staff. Proposition number 3 was about just the transition of the commissioners. We're not even going to worry about that, but I think that, yeah, take care of those problems, and that's exactly the type of things that you want to get out of a charter. Proposition number 4 talks about conflicting residency in city employees. Now, that one was pretty interesting, actually. What'd you guys think about the residency issue for employees of the city?
This is the one that had to do with, like, I don't have to live in Shawnee. Is that how this one works?
Yes.
So, I mean, I would like to be able to live outside if I wanted to and still work here. Because, I mean, that's not any different than any other place.
Yeah. Well, and we have an extended area. I mean, in our city limits, there's so many of us who are Shawnee live outside of the actual city limits, just like the residents within Shawnee. But it's our economic hub, and it's really our home. So I'm for that. And that actually was a 65% vote to 35% vote. So a 20-point margin, still a huge victory. And I think that shows the influence that the countywide news has and the opinion of our friend Susie Campbell, because she had a question about that dealing with citizenship, and I like that she pointed that out.
Yeah, Susie was great on that. Just some problems in the text and actually pointed to that.
Yeah, that's great. So then in proposition number 5, again, the margin it's pretty huge. It was 75% to 25%, and that's about conflict of interest and just cleaning up that wording that lessens potential legal problems out there. What do you think?
So on this one, what exactly were we talking about when they were talking about aligning the conflict of interest? What does that mean?
Our conflict of interest policy for the people who work within the city hierarchy is a little bit different than the way that it reads in state statute. And so they were just saying, hey, look, we don't want to have these things in our charter that we have to act by or we have to abide by as a government. And then somebody, lawyerly comes in and says, oh, we're going to sue you because that's in conflict with state policy or federal policy. And that's not a good place to be in our charter. We want to go ahead, those policies are set at the state level. We can just be reliant upon the state and how it's written in the state. And then we can just point to state statutes rather than having to defend our own charter.
Okay.
Is that about as clear as mud?
Yeah, I got it.
That actually sounded kind of like I was a politician, because I kind of went around, because I'm thinking conflict of interest. And really, you guys out there, correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me that I'm wrong, but that's how I understand it in the moment. And this is kind of how it's going to roll, but we're going to be talking to some guests here in just a minute too. So you guys hang around with us. We are now at proposition number 6. And boy, that was a big one. That was the Lake one. And let me tell you, I love you, Lake residents. You guys are powerful, and you always take a part in voting and in elections. You're very vocal. And man, you guys got out for this one. And this was about taking basically prescription wording out of the charter and allowing that wording to be able to be changed through ordinances and codes. And it was duplicative language that we were talking about there. So, guys.
This one was a hot topic, though. This is
very
the one that everybody was.
Okay, it's always.
They felt like, from what our comments were, they felt like that the city was just going to take over, and it's really not that way. I mean, it's not any different than, like we said before, the state or your federal government. You're asking somebody to make decisions because they can. They can all be together. They can make the decision together. And the way if you don't like what the decision they're making,
yeah, boot them out.
Boot them out.
But also, if you don't like the decision they're making, and I want to point this out, is because, and I said this, was that you're not losing your voice. You just have to understand you can't be loud one time every 3 years. You have to consistently engage with your commissioners and the people that we trust, who we elected, and talk with them about the do's and the don'ts, the whys and the why nots of the issues that you feel impact you, and then leave it to them as trusted officials to be able to make the decision that's best for everyone. And it's hard to say, but that might not be best for you. Might not be best for me, but it might be best for the majority.
Right.
And I mean, this is a great issue, because anytime the lake issue comes up, there's a lot of participation, because our dedicated people at the lake, I mean, they're going to let you know how we feel and how they feel. But right now, remember, everybody, about the lake, that committee is working. The master plan for the lake area is still ongoing. So just reach out to our trusted officials and let them know what you would like to see or not like to see out at the lake. But now it gets to be changed. As long as these go to the governor and it gets approved, these get to be changed through codes and ordinances, which is really the proper place for them to be changed. And then
all the commissioners and the mayor and city manager, everybody over and over is said, come talk to me, catch me on the street. I mean, you literally can voice your opinion at any point. They are open to all that.
So, yeah, that brings up a great story. A number of years I spent at the Capitol talking with elected officials, and literally, if 2 people from within their district called in the 4 months that they were in legislative session, that was a lot of calls to get from their district. It's crazy. We just don't communicate with these guys, so we say we don't trust them, or gals. We say that we don't trust them, but really we're just not communicating with them. That's a fact. And that's part of what we're doing. And what we want to do here in Coaches Build a Community is help everybody realize, engage. Don't just wait for a vote or some hot topic. Engage. Just kind of pay a little bit of attention, to what's going on in the community, and then engage with the ones that we trust, who we've elected. Because they're going to follow what you say. I mean, if it's best for everyone. They want to hear your input, that's for sure. And then Proposition 7 was about the cemetery. I, for one, am very happy that this passed 82% to 18%. We need to do something out at the cemetery. It's such a beautiful spot in our community. I don't know, you may not have a loved one out there, but guys, that's a great spot to walk. That's just a wonderful spot.
I've always thought that it looks really nice. I mean, and we always want to take care of those that have passed on before us, and we want it to look nice. We want it to be taken care of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. And it looks real nice, but there's a lot of infrastructure things that need to happen for people, and that's come up over the last few years. And again, I just want to throw kudos to the commission and to the staff, you as individuals and you as professionals. You've done a great job. We encourage you to continue forward, and I hope that these margins of support encourage you to know that there may be a vocal minority out there that's bashing you all the time, but really most of us are behind the work that you're doing, and thank you for your volunteer service. Okay, enough on the vote, because we've got a great show, I hope, for you today. We're going to talk with Shawnee High School's Dax Leone. We're going to talk to Shawnee Wrestling. I don't know if a lot of you know, but their structure was completely destroyed except for the tornado safe room, which is still standing over at the high school. And we get to talk with Renae Tabor about the things that are going on with wrestling and about the wrestling kids. We're excited to be able to talk to Renae. And then, of course, we are going to bring on Evan Smith. He and Dax do such a great job on the 2 Shawnee campuses, our 2 high school campuses. Evan, the athletic director over at North Rock Creek. I just hope that we get back to the branding iron and get some of that food going again. I kind of miss that. But first, did I mention everybody, or did I forget somebody?
I think we got everybody.
That's everybody.
I think we need to roll on.
So we are going to roll on, and I'm going to throw you a quote from one of my best books. This is The Edge. I got this book because it's about coaches and superstars, and they give little bits of information. And here on our show, I want to give some bits of information that might encourage us to help our community get better. And this quote comes from Don Shula, one of the best NFL coaches of all time, coached the only undefeated team all the way through a Super Bowl. And that is, the whole idea is to somehow get an edge. Sometimes it takes just a little something to get that edge, but you have to have it. Well, we're going to try to get an edge now for you and for us as we get an update from Shawnee High School and from, I don't know if you guys have driven by there, but it went right through, the tornado went right through all of the athletic facilities, and our athletic director, Dax Leone, has been hard at work. Let's welcome Dax in. Dax, what's going on, man?
What's going on? What's going on, Daniel?
Well, you've had an inspiring first year, my friend. You came through a spring semester. I know things were rolling along, and everybody in the community hit a hurdle. Why don't you tell us a little bit, give us an update on how things ended up in the spring?
Thanks for having me too, Daniel. It's good to see you. Good to see you, man. Obviously the whole community was affected, but the way things ended up, we got a chance to finish school with our seniors, which was important to us to give our kids the most normal end of the year that we could. Obviously, we saw the community bond and what Shawnee's all about, which we always talk about. Had a ton of success on and off the field, and now we're just kind of, just sticking together and trying to do what's best for our kids.
Well, that's what it's all about. I know that's what you've been about since day one, Dax. How did the spring sports ended up? It all got kind of foggy there towards the end. How'd our spring sports end up?
Well, our baseball team ended up going on the road to Grove and got beat in the regional finals, one game away from going to state. Coach Paxton's group had a great year. Just, ball didn't bounce our way a couple of times. Had some state qualifiers in track. So ended up with 3 or 4 state qualifiers in track. Had some state qualifiers in tennis. Golf had Kasica, who was a state finalist there. I think she finished like 12th in 5A, which was great. So we ended up strong. Of course, we were a little bit behind the 8 ball with what happened, but it was just a great resiliency from our coaches and our kids. But overall, we had a successful spring season.
Well, I believe that, and you're right, Dax. There was a lot for those kids to be able to overcome, a lot of destruction, and I believe great things come from destruction, and we're kind of on moving. All of us have had to move past it a little bit, and looking forward, talk to us a little bit about the fall sports. What do we have to look forward to?
Well, right now, to be honest with you, Daniel, we're still, as crazy as it sounds, a little bit in the assessment phase, still trying to gather all of our stuff for the insurance. But right now, our main focus is to get softball up and running because they start practice July 15th. Football season obviously coming up, volleyball season coming up. So probably right off the start, we're not going to be in our own facilities, which is, a little bit frustrating, but at the same time, we can only do what we're capable of doing. But we'll use our middle school gym quite a bit. We've been over there for our summer pride. Coach Madonna's group been over there, and Coach Brown, a lot of those athletes and coaches. So volleyball will be housed out of the middle school for now. Fire Lake has been kind enough to let us use the softball facility for now. So our girls will be able to practice over there. And then football, we're hoping to be back in Jim Thorpe Stadium on September the 1st. But obviously our practice field is good, so we'll be able to do practices there. And then we're still working on our PFDC, which is our big weight room, which all of our athletes use. And really, that's our first focus when we start this rebuild, which hopefully will be sooner than later. That'll be the first building we get going back. That way, all the athletes can get back in the weight room over there and get using that facility. And then, of course, the backside of the pack got hit. Our gym floor got damaged. So that volleyball season's probably been played at the middle school, unfortunately. But hopefully, by basketball season, we're hoping to be back in the pack and wrestling.
Well, let's talk a little bit about volleyball and Coach Destiny Temple. How is she doing?
She's doing great. We're so fortunate to have her. When we started our search, when Julia got this position, she was very passionate, and Julia had built a great program here. And we kind of singled out Destiny with the help of Anna Howe through OBU she played for. And she's like, hey, this girl's a rock star. If there's anybody that could do a great job. And so we full court pressed her and got her here, and she's had her girls at camp this summer. She's grown our numbers quite a bit. We should have about 30, 35 girls out, we're hoping, all the way down to the 9th grade. And, of course, our middle school program with Nicole Cluck's been great. So we're expecting big things from Destiny. I know we got quite a few girls back. I think we lost 5 seniors, so it wasn't a huge senior class. We had a really good group of 8th graders coming up. And so even though she'll be on the road, so to speak, a little bit, our home nationals will be at the middle school. She's done a great job, and we're just really fortunate to have Destiny with us.
I agree. And talking about being fortunate, Coach Justin Rivera, this year he coached the Athlete of the Year for the Tri-County area. Annika Anderson gets awarded a car. What a beautiful time for the softball team, being that softball is Annika. She's one of the best in the country.
Oh, man, she's probably one of the best players to ever play at this school. And, me being an old pitching guy myself, them good pitchers make you look like a good coach. So I know she had Rivera looking like a good pitching coach. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. Justin's doing a great job. Actually, our girls are going to meet on Friday, get them back from the summer because they've all been out doing basketball or different sports. And so Friday we're going to have a little meeting with them at Sequoia because right now we don't really, I don't have an office. I'm here at my house right now. So we're going to meet with the girls. They'll start coming to Summer Pride, and then July 15th, it'll be before it'll be we'll be full court practicing and full fledged back on the field. So Justin, he added a couple of new coaches to his coaching staff. So it'll be great. But, losing somebody like Annika, those girls are generational. They're hard, kind of like Tatum Sparks. You're not going to replace those girls. But we also, lost Maddie Conley, who's our starting catcher. along with some other girls that were really valuable to what we did. So I know right now Coach Rivera is really just trying to figure out, who's going to be our pitcher and what direction we're going to go on the mound because, like in softball, baseball, it all starts in that circle.
Well, and when you talk about softball legends, you got to throw in there Broke Shoulder. What a great
she was a good one too. Jamie Boyer was pretty good herself, so I'm probably going to leave some out, so I probably shouldn't say any more. So, but Annika winning that card was awesome.
You're gonna leave out Jamie, and that'll get you in trouble with the Boyers.
I'm not leaving Jamie out. I saw her grow up.
Yeah.
She was a special player, a special coach as well.
Yeah. Well, that moves us to the big one. Well, actually, first I want to touch base a little bit on a sport that gets overlooked, and I almost did that right there with cross country. What's cross country look like?
Right.
Who's in charge of cross country coming into the fall?
Yeah, it's funny. Julie and I just met. Maddie Sincere was our cross country coach last year. Her and Trevor Matson both helped, but both of them are kind of moving forward. Not going to be able to be a head coach, so we're actually right now in a search for a new cross country coach. So, we're going to start that process and trying to find somebody, to run our program. I know we got Lemmy Jones at our middle school that does a tremendous job. Kylie Tape, who's been kind of helping us in track. She was been running the thing, and she actually just took a job in Preg, so we lost her, which is unfortunate. She was a great ambassador for Shawnee. So we're going to go out. We've actually talked to Coach Maston Ford at OBU. He's gave us a few names, and trying to find the best person. But we've had a good tradition of cross country. And the fortunate thing for cross country is they can run anywhere. They don't have to have just a track. So we'll be able to put them over at the middle school with that beautiful track Avita's helped build for us, and not just us, but the whole community. And so, we'll be up and running, and we're just trying to nail down a coach. And then we'll have our boys and girls out there, and they'll be getting after it.
All right, Jason Madonna, he's moved to town. He's been working with the boys now for the last month or so. Tell us a little bit. Fill us in on how Jason's doing.
Man, I don't want to sound like I'm just bragging, but when we started that search, he was at the top of our list, and the fact that we got the guy that we really wanted, it just really bodes well for Julia and myself and Dr. Espol and Dr. Grace, everybody else that was involved, just to see his commitment to our kids, the buy-in from our kids. He's so personable. Obviously, his football knowledge is off the charts, but, just this past weekend, he was at the Hall of Fame football meeting on Saturday with, Coach Sperry and Bill Ford and Kelly Parsons and a lot of those guys. And they told us it was the first time a head coach has shown up for one of those luncheons. And so just me alone, when I heard that, him taking time out of his weekend to go to the Hall of Fame meeting and connect with all those guys. And I had so many emails and text messages about just his presence and what he's done. We've had 45, 48 kids at Summer Pride all summer long pretty regularly. So the numbers are pretty much doubled with him. He's got a terrific coaching staff that he put together. Obviously, our offseason plan is in place. And I'll tell you this, I'll go ahead and make a statement. We ain't going 0-10. I feel really confident about our program and what he's about. And our kids have really just worked hard and bought in. And, like I said, I'm invested in all of our sports. But this football hire was such a big thing for our community. It's really nice to see all the hard work pay off. And I couldn't be prouder of Coach Madonna and his staff. I think they're doing a tremendous job.
Well, and those kids, he's come in at a really good time because he's got a lot of underclassmen that played a lot of minutes. It's an exciting time. You're not going out on a limb, I think, saying we're not going to go 0-10. I'm thinking, hey, man, we're going 5-5 or better. We're going to be back in the winning mode. Those kids are good.
They're good. We got our sophomore class is about, they're going to be juniors now, but it's a really strong sophomore class. We only have 4 or 5 seniors, so really a lot of our players, a lot of youth, and we've had a lot of freshmen out at Summer Pride. And so I go out there. I try to go out there every morning and just say hello to all the kids and coaches. And we have a really good group of freshmen, 31 freshmen out for football. And just some of the linemen that we've got out there, I just picked, Brody Oliver, Brody's been out there with us this summer, and, Logan Skelton and some of these other kids. I mean, we got some size, a Chuffy, we got some big kids. We got, guys like Ramel and some of these other guys that are skill athletes. So I really think our youth is, is going to be great. And then you got guys like Shaw and, of course, Zyron and Jameer and Ejon Thomas. These guys have taken such huge steps and going to these camps this summer. I mean, Shaw's getting recruited by, a lot of schools across the country now, and he's just going to be a junior. So, of course, with Zyron coming back and going to be a starting quarterback now as a sophomore, took some lumps as a freshman. Unfortunately for us, the district we play is probably the top in 5A, with Carl Albert Guthrie, so to speak. But, we got to play who's on our schedule, and I feel really good about us competing. And, like you said, it wouldn't surprise me if we go 5. Nothing would surprise me with this coaching staff. And I can tell you any game we don't win, it's not going to be because of effort or we're not prepared. We just might come up a little short. So, again, man, I couldn't feel better about Coach Madonna. I'm so proud of him. I know I keep kind of gloating on him, but, he's building this thing from the ground up, and you can't build a house without pillars, man.
Well, and I want to give a quick shout out to our friend Dwight Yancey coming in and taking up on help the athletic department and help the boosters to be able to do some new things over at Shawnee Dry Cleaners and Laundry. And we've got one more of those stepping up, right? We need another business partner to step up, don't we?
Yeah, man, we've been out working the community trying to get these sponsorships to help us out and help our football program out. And yeah, Dwight stepped up big time. Him and Darcy are just unbelievable people, friends of ours, but more importantly, friends of the community. So yeah, our fundraising right now is going great. I know sometimes, like you said, tragedy turns into can be a positive, and we're not feeling sorry for ourselves. This is the hand we were dealt, and we were already moving forward with all of our fundraising and all of that stuff we're trying to do with our football facilities and all of our other facilities on top of that. So it's a great time to be a Shawnee Wolf. And I think, the future is really bright, and we're going to be battle tested after this thing. But, anything worth doing has never been easy. So we were going to work this way no matter what happened.
That's right, Dax. It starts at the top. You know that as a head coach, long time at the collegiate level. You really set the stage, man. And, I would think if Jason Madonna was with us and he heard that comment about our schedule, he would have chuckled under his breath and said, we're playing exactly who we need to be playing because we're about to go beat their butts.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a competitive guy, and he's an old offensive lineman, so he's tough and gruff. And I'll tell you, his coaching staff, all the way, Mike Blitch, our new defensive coordinator we got from Booker T. Washington. I mean, he's coached 5 or 6 NFL guys. And you look at like Gentry Williams, who's at OU, and Dax Hill, who's at Michigan. Those are Blitch's guys. So he's running our defense. And, Coach Madonna's running our offense with, a lot of these other guys. We got, 12 guys on our high school staff that are all, quality individuals first. And they've all been there at Summer Pride. I mean, I show up every morning and they're there. They're welcoming the kids. And so it's just, it takes a great staff, and he did a great job putting it together. But those guys are competitive, man. I can tell you, they don't like to lose, and neither do I.
Well, neither does our community, and great things do come from disaster. What'd you say? You said out of tragedy comes some really great things. So we're looking forward.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, we're looking forward to the next football season because, in a way, it's kind of the same thing in the sense of we're coming out of a tragedy, and now we're looking forward to some great things.
Yeah, no, we are. And our football coaches, and even, Coach Sexton, he was kind of dealt a tough hand with COVID and things like that. Of course, Billy Brown's the all-time winningest coach here, and you go back to Coach Higgins and Coach Sperry and Coach Mahaney. We've had a long lineage of great football coaches here. Shawnee's always been a football town, and this year we're going to honor our 1973 state championship team, our 2003 state championship team. So both of those guys will be back. Both of those teams will be back for the Hall of Fame weekend against Seminole, our home opener. So there's been a lot of buzz about that. We've talked to, Carter Whitson's kind of helping us with that 2003 team. David Hinkle's kind of helping us with that 73 team. And it's just, you bring a lot. And one of my selling points with Coach Madonna was Shawnee is a football town, man. You can go all the way back to Darian Gordon and, Paul Blaine.
Yeah, all of those players, great players. And you left off the coach on the long line of great coaches, our state champion coach, Brent Whitson. He's coming back too.
Yeah. He was okay. He did a pretty decent job here. Yeah. I said Carter. I talked about Carter, but of course, Brent and, his dad who was here with us, and God rest his soul. Those guys were awesome and kind of transitioned to the Billy Brown era and just kind of really set a foundation. You go all the way now to obviously to Creed Humphrey and Seymour Shaw. There's just been a lot of great players here, and it's football season, man. You can't beat it. I love all of our sports equally, but there's something about the fall when that weather changes and Friday night lights, man.
Well, we look forward to seeing Coach Rivera, Coach Temple, and Coach Madonna in action coming up in the fall. We love them all, and we're very fortunate to have you at the helm. Thanks a lot, Dax, for taking time with us.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me, Daniel. Go Wolves.
Man, I like him. He's a coach. I mean, that's what he was. He was a great player. He was a pitcher himself, played big-time college baseball, and coached for 20 years before becoming an administrator.
I actually went to Seminole State about the same time he was there. I think he was actually coaching with, I think it was either Mike or, I can't remember what his name.
Seminole. That's
Yeah.
Seminole.
It's Seminole
I'm
State,
Shawnee.
yeah.
Hey, some of you Seminole people chime in and let us know who was there. Or Dax, chime back in. Who was there with you coaching when Jared was there?
That's a long time ago.
When Jay was there. Okay. Well, anything else? Anything you guys pull from that you thought was interesting?
I mean, I got to go help out with some of the baseball, doing some cleanup and stuff. And what's the coach?
Coach Paxson.
Coach Paxson was super supportive. He was thanking us all the time for helping out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody was in good spirits as they were like just getting stuff back together as best they can.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Pax is a great guy, great family. His wife Kim was a statewide nominee for Teacher of the Year not too long ago. That was so much fun to get to know her. But then her boys and, Pax's boys, that's some triplets coming up that are studs.
they are. I've seen them wrestle. They play baseball. I mean, I think they do everything.
I think their house got 3 golden track shoes in one day, something like that. Unless they were racing against each other. But I'm telling you, it's spirits like that, that Dax portrays to our kids at the high school that is so very important. And of course, we like to follow our kids. And our next guest is going to be Renae Tabor. Renae, I met last year working with the wrestling program. She works hard with the booster club for the wrestlers. And if you don't know it, the wrestling team went through a lot of heartache as that tornado came through, as their whole facility was wiped out. And many of us saw the nationwide photo that had the big S and wolves across the top of it. Well, that wasn't the pack. That was actually the wrestling facility, which is also the practice facility. And that's where we do a lot of wrestling with the Takedown Club, kids from 3 years old all the way up into going into high school. And so let's welcome Renae Tabor.
Hello. Excited to be here.
Thank you very much. And when I think about moms who are involved in booster programs, that's because they have a deep love for their kids. And you've got 3 winners. Tell us about your kids, Renae.
So I have 3 kids that have either graduated from the Shawnee school systems or are a current student. I have Megan that graduated in 2016. She was a manager with the wrestling program for 4 years and then went on to be a manager at OU. My son graduated in 2022 and is at Central Christian College in Kansas on the wrestling team and going to college there as an education major. And then I have a soon-to-be 7th grader that is on the wrestling program as well. She's one of the girls that competes. And so that's kind of my history. We've been with the program a long time.
So your youngest, her name is Allie. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And she's a fierce... Go ahead.
Yes, she loves to wrestle. She's wrestled since she was little bitty, watched Big Brother wrestle. She also runs cross country, track, and plays soccer.
Oh, so we have a good athlete coming up that we get to give a lot of Shawnee CTV time. Well, in her older brother, Johnny, he was a state qualifier, so she has kind of goals set in that direction, I would think.
Yes.
Well,
she was a state placer. She was a state placer for the junior high. 6th place in the girls division.
Way to go, Allie. Way to go. And at the end of the year, of course, we had some struggle on campus, but nobody took the hit like the wrestlers and the wrestling facility. Talk a little bit about that and how your wrestlers have responded after the storm and watching it all disappear.
It has been tough, to be honest, not just for our current wrestlers in the high school program and middle school program, but for our kids coming up in the program, but then also for our alumni and our coaches. It's been a really rough situation to lose our facility like that. And part of that was lost was all of our gear and team wrestler shoes, concession stand, everything was lost. So we are basically going to be starting over from scratch again.
Well, I know that I saw and followed some of the posts. A few of them brought tears to my eyes, how you guys were helping and taking care of one another. But right now, the community can really support you during this 4th of July time. A lot of people love their fireworks. Talk a little bit about right now what's going on with the wrestling program.
Yes, so one of our former coaches has a fireworks stand. It's at 177 in MacArthur. And every year you will see our coaches and our wrestlers and parents out there helping, selling fireworks. And we earn a portion of all of the sales of those fireworks from that fireworks stand. So it helps tremendously with all of our expenses and especially this time now that we're having to basically start from scratch to rebuild everything.
Well, and of course, that's the ex-coach, longtime coach, Chamblin. He also was a state champion here back in the 80s or 90s for the Shawnee wrestling program. They've really stepped up in trying to help you guys over the years, haven't they?
Yes, the Chamblins are huge supporters of our wrestling program.
Well, in coming up, we also have a way in which maybe companies can get involved because you have a golf tournament coming up that you're if you're not now, very soon you'll start signups for, right?
Yes, and signups are ongoing right now. Our golf tournament will be August 20th, and it's actually hosted a combination of our Shawnee Takedown Club, which is our elementary wrestling program, and the Shawnee Middle School and High School programs. It is $100 per person to enter the tournament. And then we're also doing hole sponsorships, and those are $100 per sign for the different holes. So we are going to be reaching out to lots of businesses and people in the community to sponsor our team and help us raise money for our wrestlers to get back in the program.
And so now you talked about the gear being lost and all of that. Is that something that the school replaces, or is that something the parents and the booster club is going to have to replace?
We don't know yet. Everything, we try to keep the best records we can of everything that we have, from electronics to gear to shoes to everything. And we submitted a detailed itemized statement to the school board to file for insurance. But we haven't heard anything yet. So we don't know, are we going to have to fight to raise money to replace mats, because all of our mats were ruined. Even the mats in the wrestling room that was the tornado shelter, well, that room flooded and they were setting in water for 3-4 weeks. So those are all ruined. So we don't know. We don't know how much insurance will cover, and definitely the school budget won't cover to replace everything. So a lot of it will be on the booster club and the wrestlers and parents to try to raise money, and our community.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I wanted to say was that you guys, I mean, you do the fireworks every year. You have golf tournaments every year, and we'll talk a little bit. You sell some banners every year as well. But this year is particularly important that the community step up and help to support you guys.
Yes, it's tremendously important. The funds we raise throughout the year from the banner sales, from the fireworks stand, go to support our wrestlers, whether it's equipment. We have kids that need shoes or headgear or mouth guards, things like that. We pay for their meals so that they eat, are able to eat after they make weight at tournaments and duels. We make sure they're fed, well fed. If a hotel room is needed that we don't have budgeted in the school budget, we make sure that we cover that. We try to cover anything that we cannot cover in the school budget by our parents getting out there, the kids getting out there working, whatever it might be. You see us out there doing the yard cleanups most of the time. The tornado was 100%. We donated our time. Those wrestlers and parents were out there just fully donating. But we do have times that we do rent the wrestler, where we'll schedule a time and somebody can pay for them to come out and clean up their yard or do landscaping, build a fence. But everything that we raise goes back to those wrestlers in that program.
Yeah, it's such an honorable way in which you perform your booster club, Renae. We certainly thank you. It's been a pleasure to get to know you over the last year a little bit more, since a few of my friends now have people who are wrestling. But let's talk a little bit about banner sales. That's a way in which we at Shawnee CTV might be able to help you guys, and hopefully this year we can step in and add to those sales.
Yes, we're excited. It's a lot of hard work, and just being able to partner with someone that can lead that, and then, be the coordinator for getting the signs that we then display at our duels and tournaments. And it's very visible for anybody that comes in to the facility to see.
Yeah, and I want everybody to know that the wrestling department has always had our full support. We love you guys. That is such an impressive lot. What you guys, when I say you guys, I'm talking directly to the team and the coaches, that workout that they do year in and year out to be on the mats performing like they do at the level that they do, it just blows my mind what wrestlers have to go through to prepare themselves for a season.
It is a lot of work, and it's year round. It's before school, after school, weekends. They really put in the time and effort and fight to be where they're at. Well, it's fun to watch. It's a total family environment. If your kid is somewhere wrestling, that there's going to be support there for them.
That's right. We had Elisha wrestle with you guys for a couple of years, and we just enjoyed it thoroughly. It helped him. Now he's in the military, and I can guarantee you I've had military stories from how he applied what he learned in wrestling to be more successful in the military.
Yes.
It's a beautiful thing what those kids go through and what the coaches put them through. But Renae, also, it's just such a pleasure. I know the work that you put in. You're going through year after year after year with that booster club. Thank you very much for your efforts. And you can sign us up for that golf tournament. We definitely want to sign. And we'll be getting a banner again this year. And we want to encourage everybody to be alongside our wrestlers this year. Thank you so much for being with us. And thank you for your heart for your kids.
Thank you. We really appreciate your support and the community's support. Thank you very much.
We'll talk to you again soon. Thanks, Renae.
Thank you.
Fireworks time, and no better way to spend your fireworks money than to support Shawnee High School wrestling. Hey guys, Jay, as a matter of fact, Kendall started wrestling. What do you think about what Renae had to say?
Well, I mean, I've seen all the stuff that they've been doing. They're always working hard trying to be a team, get team stuff that they can give out, help out. Kendall is he eats almost pretty much every beef jerky that you can get from the wrestling, by the way, which is how they make money too. And speaking of Kendall, he'll be at the fireworks stand.
Fantastic. Say hello to Kendall out there. And actually, Coach McCune. Coach McCune, man, he's got quite a story himself. We don't get to talk with him as much as we would like to with you guys, but that's just because he wants all the focus to be on the kids, just like Kendall. But sometime, maybe we can get Andrew in here, man.
That would be awesome. He's actually been brought in as a Oklahoma wrestling coach. So he is like traveling around a lot right now.
Well, that's awesome. He's such a talented and dedicated individual. He's a hero as a veteran as well, sustained quite an injury. He's got such a testimony. We certainly respect and have a lot of love for Coach McCune. And talking about respect and love, one of the favorite businesses of all of us here in the community. And guys, hey, who am I talking about?
Grady.
Hardesty.
It's so true. When you walk in there, and I say this, I say, hey, where the meat is great and the people are even better, you feel it when you come in the door. And man, Grady's had a hard time recently. We want you to get out and get your meats from Hardesty's because you'll enjoy it. That's why we want you to go to Hardesty's, is because you'll walk in and you'll go, oh, wow, this is maybe a little more expensive, but it's so worth it. And then when you get that meat to your family for the 4th of July, you won't get your meat anywhere else. Hardesty Market and Deli, a real butcher shop for over 80 years. Daily lunch specials just like Mom used to make. Best cuts of meat and even better people. Your family at Hardesty Market and Deli. Man, we love that place. Hey guys, how do you like Hardesty Meats? Let's just off the cuff. How do you like Hardesty Meats?
every birthday somebody wants a steak from Hardesty's. They would have it more, but I have to limit to birthdays so that I don't have so many steaks to buy.
What about you, G?
Yeah, I've been getting them even when they were over there by Fire Lake.
Yeah.
My grandpa would take me in, and we would get those thick old ribeyes, and it was great.
I'm telling you, just yesterday, my grandson I was with, and we drove by Hardesty, and he goes, man, they've got the greatest sandwiches. Their Black Forest ham tastes so much better than anything that we get at the store and I get at home.
I always get, what's the Frick's ham? Frick smoked ham? All the time.
I don't even, I call it Hardesty. I don't even look at the brands that are in there because unless they're slicing that meat, it doesn't taste as good. And talking about fresh meat from Hardesty, did you know that you can get Hardesty steaks out at the branding iron? Dudes, have you guys been to the branding iron? Had a steak?
I haven't had a steak there, but I have had like fried green tomatoes.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things to have. I like that place a lot. And the people are pretty awesome too. We're going to hang out.
Gee, we need to get back there.
Yes.
We need to get back there. Oh, I think that, it's Grady. No, just kidding. Just kidding. We need to get our coaches show back there, man.
Yes, coach's show needs to happen. It was so fun going over there with the wait staff and just so much fun. I actually worked there for 5 months, so I got to know everyone that was there, and just being there in that environment, it's so much fun.
Well, when I met the Hefner family, I fell in love. I love how Ryan takes responsibility around there. He always makes it great for us and for this next guest who's coming in. The North Rock Creek Coaches Show, of course, handled out at the branding iron, not to mention Hardesty's handling Dax and Dax's Coaches Show as well. But let's talk with Evan Smith. Evan, North Rock Creek Athletic Director. Dude, I've been missing you.
Yeah, it's been a little while. Good to see you this morning.
Yes, it is. Thank you for doing this. I know that you just got back. You're the head basketball coach as well. Tell us a little bit about camp and how your guys did.
We finished up our second camp of the summer. Finished up pretty well. We graduated too, and so summertime is kind of for a time to gel and come together as a team, and I feel like we did that. Had pretty successful camps at both Cache and Anadarko, so it went well. It was hot, but we made it.
Yeah, it's getting hotter, my man. And talking about hot, what about another state championship for Coach of the Year, Chance Griffin?
Yes, yeah, it was a very successful season, and it just seems like the girls just keep working hard and good things keep happening for them, and we hope that continues.
Oh, I'm sure that it will. He's got a great foundation there. You graduated too from that squad, so you've got a lot coming back. And Evan, I want to hit you kind of off the cuff with a question of throughout that softball season and then going through the playoffs and the state championships, there are moments of real testing for that club. While you witnessed them play, was there a moment in which in your head this year you were going, okay, they really need to pull this out. This is really where it's going to tell us, where they're at?
Oh, there's always stretches for coaches where, you have several back-to-back games where your opponents are the top-tier opponents. And there was a few stretches there throughout the season where they had to play some very good teams back-to-back. Mm-hmm. And that was something where, you start telling yourself, well, I wonder if they can pull through, and they seem to handle it just fine.
Yeah, that's a great squad. Obviously, great coaching. And, I think that we were the impetus for Chance to go after that Coach of the Year award because we had already awarded the Shawnee CTV Assistant Coach of the Year to his assistant, Mike Cox.
That's right. Yeah, it was just meant to be, I think.
Well, the kids did a wonderful job there. Now let's talk about some of the other sports that we didn't get to talk about in spring. Your son, Jet, a freshman, and also Eli Whitehead, Shane's son, made it to state in golf. Talk about that.
Yeah, it was a great experience for those young kids. They both were young, when they got this opportunity. And 4A golf is like 4A in anything. 4A classification, it's tough. I mean, there's good opponents in every sport. So, being able to accomplish that at such a young age and go to the state tournament in 4A was a big deal for them, and I'm proud of both of them.
Well, we believe coaches build community. And who was that head coach? Which one's on golf?
Well, I just happened to be there with them. I don't want to take a lot of credit for that, but I got the bus there on time. So
That's the most important, one of the most important coaching jobs right there is riding that bus and driving that bus. Talking about baseball now, you had a coaching change. Talk about how that came about.
yeah, we Keaton Hernandez was one of our assistant coaches, and Mr. Brooking, Chad Brooking, was our head coach this last year. Decided to go ahead and step down as the head coach. Obviously he's a principal and other things as well. So Keaton Hernandez decided to step into, and he's so far doing a really good job, and know that will continue. So
Well, I've gotten to know Keaton a little bit. His energy is unmatched. It's wonderful. I think that'll be great for the kids. But refresh us on his background and why you think he'll be a successful baseball coach.
yeah, I do too. I think he's going to be very successful. Obviously, he's got this. A lot of people don't know some college experience. He pitched for University of Oklahoma. He's got a lot of background in Division I athletics, and so I think he'll be able to let some of our high school age kids into some of that area and kind of let them see what that's like. But I also think Keaton is very down to earth and understands the high school level, and will do a really good job leading that group.
That's great. I believe that too. I look forward to working closer with Keaton, and I look forward to seeing Chad more in his admin role. Get him back in that admin role.
Yeah.
All right. Now, moving forward into the fall, Evan, we've got football, softball's coming back. We got cross country. We've got volleyball. You've got a lot of successful sports teams coming back to play. What do you have to give us rolling into fall? What's your outlook?
Well, I mean, it's kind of interesting, as we have gotten older as a school, things are more established, as we get further along. So I feel very comfortable about all of our sports going into the fall this year. This is kind of the first summer we've had where we feel like everything is ready to go team wise. We kind of know what all of our parts and pieces are, and so I think it'll be a good fall for us, successful. I think the coaching staff that we have for all of those sports have been doing a great job. So we're just hoping to have a easy transition into the first part of the school year, and I think it'll be good.
Awesome. Maybe we can get Rochelle Law, Coach Law, for our July coaches show to talk a little bit about volleyball coming up in August. Are you game for a July show back at the Branding Iron?
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be good. I'd like to do that.
That'll be a lot of fun. Evan, it's always great to talk to you, man. I like to hang out in your office and just sit there and rap. It's a lot of fun. Thanks a lot, man, for coming on with us, and we look forward to seeing you again real soon.
Hey, I appreciate it, Daniel. Thank you.
We'll talk to you again. I just like that guy. Guys, he's just got a great spirit about him.
He's always super quiet, but when you can see his smile from a mile away, though. He's always happy.
He is happy. He's contemplative. I think that he might be happy, Jay, because he sees you.
I don't know too many people that would say that.
I don't either, but he is a very happy
Hey,
guy.
nobody's talking to you anyways.
Well, his wife Brandy sure loves him. They had a great post on Facebook of their anniversary, and what a delight those two people are, Brandy Smith and Evan Smith, husband and wife, mom and dad of Jet. And I don't know their oldest daughter's name, but she was married last year as well. Just doing a great job. And that's what community is all about. We talked to some coaches today, and in fact, we talked to 4 coaches today, whether they have coach in front of their name or they don't, because we believe at Shawnee CTV that coaches build community. That could be a wrap, guys. What do you think?
Like you're gonna rap? I don't want to see you rap.
I can rap.
that sounds awful.
I could nail off some rapping.
Let's do it.
No, Jay doesn't want it.
No.
Not going to make it happen. Maybe next
Maybe we
time.
can wrap the show.
Maybe next time we get some rapping going. We bring in a musician. If you know a musician you'd like us to talk to, we would love to meet that musician. It's awkward to meet new people, but that's what we have to do, especially when we're talking about our community. Let's start talking to one another, communicating with one another, because you are a coach, just like me, even though it's not in front of our names. We have influence. And remember, Shawnee, all of us, together we build community, one season at a time. You guys didn't say goodbye.
Were we supposed to say goodbye?
Aren't
Goodbye.
you supposed to say goodbye?
See ya.